All right, good morning, guys. Today is Wednesday, September 10th. We have about 40 minutes till market open. So for the regular market open, it will be for the intraday market open, it will be for a buy. And we have 15 seconds. So 3 seconds. All right, so this will be for a buy here. Um, and let's see. For the market open entry, so today we didn't have a 9:30 a.m. entry. So we are waiting on the first entry that's after 9:30 a.m. For the other entries, let's see here. We did form a 15-minute SAR here. Give me a second. So if we do get a green X, which we have, I'm in a buy right here. So this is our 1:1 scalp right here, like one of our official trades. And let's see here. I missed the 10-point entry. The 10-point entry was pretty neat. 631, 621. Let's see. And there we go, full TP on the 15-minute SAR scalp. So that's for a gain of 0.75% for the day. So yesterday we didn't have a live session. This is 0.75. All right. So, and this was the trade right there. 45,655. And the market open is back to around break even. So 45,655. Was that entry there? All right. So a nice quick win there for that SAR rejection scalp. Price is coming back down. 631, 621. All right. So that already hit TP. So let's see what else we have. The intraday market open is back and forth between break even and drawdown. It is a little tricky, but it is for a buy. US30 is near the all-time high. And right around here, let's see, for the market open impulse trades, we don't have anything yet. So there was no 9:30 a.m. entry. for US30 or for NAS. Here we do have a bullish structure. If we look at it here, there is a bullish structure. I'll put it somewhere here. Mm, 45,600. Give me a quick second. There's something I want to see here. I want to see how many EMAs we hadn't tested before market open. Okay, so it was only the 15 minutes, so never mind. All right, let's see here. So this is so we are rejecting off of, I think this is what, a 30-minute and a 15-minute bullish order block. So hopefully we can get that push up. So of course this is again going to be an area where you have a bunch of buyers and sellers going at it because the all-time high is actually the high of this candle. So if this trade is to go the way I'm expecting it, we would create a new all-time high today. For US30 will flush a little bit here. That's what I'm seeing here. So this is a regular squeeze pattern. So here we might expect a big impulse to the downside for US30. And it may be one of those instances of the accumulation, manipulation, and then back up to maybe push back up, but we'll see. So we're still waiting for this one trade a day entry. So today there wasn't. So actually this whole week there hasn't been a 9:30 a.m. entry for US30. There has only been a first trade post 9:30, and for Monday, that first trade lost. Yesterday, that first trade lost as well. So we'll see if we get um, an entry today that would be profitable. So this week we have, I think today we had what? Today I think we had PPI. And so today is a pretty heavy news week. So if we do this and look at the whole week, so today we had PPI. Tomorrow we have CPI. So this is a heavy news week for US. And on Friday we have the consumer sentiment. So for this impulse trades, you don't want ranging in markets, and you don't want a lot of areas of manipulation or possible manipulation in the market. So because you'll have a lot of back and forth, and you can have a lot of false or mixed signals. So in weeks where we have a lot of heavy news, you expect a bunch of back and forth and some sort of ranging. So that definitely affects um, this one trade a day entries. All right, we've touched the bullish structure. So where I have this line is where we have some sort of bullish structure. So if we break this bullish structure right here, and how to identify bullish structure, you just look at a big wick, and then you look at the next wick or the next week that's intersecting with that big wick, either from the top or from the bottom. We have presented a 30-minute SAR here together with an hourly, but they are next to a bearish order block, so I wouldn't even look to take this, because if I put in, and the most optimal one here would be this hourly SAR. So you can see this 30-minute bearish order block is about 20% of our stop loss. So I wouldn't be looking to take that there. So unless we get an SAR that's somewhere below this bearish order block and maybe next to this 30-minute bullish low, that's the only one I would take. But for this particular one here, I wouldn't look to take that. All right, so for today's this intraday market open, it might end up being a losing one for this one for today. So let's see what we have here. So still no first impulse trade or first impulse signal here for US30. We're having some big pushes to the downside here. So still no impulse entries here so far. And this is just going back and forth. But with this big candle from the with this big wick on the current candle, looks like we might have a big flush down for US30 here any moment, unless we're able to hold this current support. So pretty much if we look at what I'd drawn earlier here, this bullish structure, if we break this and come to break the low of this wick, then US30 might end up just flashing down. So currently what's holding it up, or one of the things that was holding it up, is that bullish structure that's right there. All right, so this bullish structure right here is still holding. I'm not sure how long it's going to hold, but this bullish structure is still holding. What I'm waiting for mostly is the one trade a day entry. So that's what mostly I'm waiting for. We already took a win on a 15-minute SAR rejection scalp. So for EMA rejection scalp, the only other EMA that hasn't been tested is this hourly EMA that's all the way down here. So I really don't even see a possible EMA entry. SAR entry, unless price keeps pushing down, that's the only way we might get an SAR entry because all the SARs pretty much here have been tested, but this hourly one is next to a bearish order block, so I wouldn't even take that. So mostly I'm looking to see if we can get the one trade a day entry here, and it might be possibly for a buy. Yeah, and looks like we're about to get one here. Might be for a sell, who knows? Let's see. Okay, so the one trade a day, the first trade of the day today, we didn't have a 931. We had, so this is the first trade of the day, and it is for a sell. It is tricky. Definitely comes at a tricky time, but we'll see. We can follow it. But personally, I'm in this one for US30, this sell right here. And we'll see. So far this week, the one trade a day entries have come post 9:30, and for Monday and Tuesday they've lost. So we'll see how this one goes. This one, okay, so this one lost as well. So I go ahead. What I do for this one trade a day entries, I go ahead and close the accounts for that. So this week, the first trades of the day have lost. And now the only account, so we didn't have a 9:30 a.m. signal today. We only had what time is it? We had one at 10 a.m. So that was satisfied accounts 2 and 3. So the only account I have left to take this impulse entries is account 4, which takes pretty much every signal between 9:30 to 11 a.m. So this entry right here, this intraday market open is still running. I still expect US30 to push back to the upside, to even possibly create another all-time high. We have tested the 30-minute EMA one, but I wouldn't take a sell here because we have a bullish order block here. We have a 30-minute bullish order block. So I'm still waiting either for an EMA entry or SAR entry, or possibly for this market open entry to reverse and push all the way back. So it looks like this bullish structure is still holding here. So this bullish structure has already been taken, or it's already being supported. We have another bullish structure that's at the intersection of this 2 wicks right here. So right there, which also lines up with Wednesday's pre-market low. So there's another bullish structure area right there. So this current bullish structure is holding. So ideally, how I do looking for structure is just like you look for the biggest wick in either direction, and then you look for the next wick to the left. So long as it's not exactly the next candle, so it should be a few candles over, then you look at where they intersect, and that's where your structure is going to be, either bullish structure or bearish structure. So since this current bullish structure has already been or has held and price has rejected from there, so this bullish structure is now invalid or has now been used up. So the new one is this one right here. So you can see we look at the wicks. So we look at this long wick right here. Then we ask ourselves, which other wick to the left of it is in and around it. So it was this particular one right here, which we had used for this initial bullish structural area. So then we intersect both of them, and that area right there becomes the area where we expect price to kind of bounce from. If price gets back down here, this is an area we expect a bounce in price somewhat right there. Yeah, so today as well might end up being a ranging, some sort of ranging market. So you can see here, we're stuck in this range, which is what, especially for these impulse entries, you don't want to be trapped in between a ranging market. And this is typical, especially when we get, so if we look at the current price right here, you can see the all-time high is just what is it? 653. So it's about 150 points away. So anytime you have or you're around critical levels like that, all-time highs, you have heavy news weeks, you just expect a lot of ranging in the market. So you'll have a fake out to the upside, fake out to the downside. So during those market conditions, you have a lot of back and forth, which is not the ideal kind of trading that ideal kind of trading that you're looking for, either for the impulse entries or even for the SAR and rejection scalps, SAR and EMA rejection scalps, because you'll just have price pushing up in one direction and then creating a wick, reversing back, and then going back up. So for today, I think maybe this is the only, and even this one is still a little tricky because this low, if price comes back to this low, this is an easy grab or push back down to the downside or push to the downside. Again, we can easily go for the all-time high. It's Wednesday, so mostly when you have price trending direction in a directional format, it's either like Thursday or Friday. So given that it's Wednesday, price can easily retrace back to the downside for the rest of the day. And then tomorrow, Thursday, we do some consolidation. And then Friday, we come back and take the all-time high, just as we did, I think, 2 weeks ago. So we are pretty much in an area where we have almost equal amount of buyers and sellers. But I'm hoping, like, for example, for this market open entry, we can push up. But in this area that we are, you can see this previous wick that we had here on the 15-minute time frame. We have a big wick from the upside, which shows sellers stepped in to push price down. So I'm not sure if we'll get the push we need. Hopefully we do, but I'm not sure if we'll get the push we need to hit TP on this one. I'm not sure if we'll even get an SAR entry for today, and even so for an EMA entry, let's see here. We don't have any area of demand, so we have a 15-minute EMA, we have a 30-minute, and we have an hourly. So we're not going to get the hourly. So for the 15 minutes, if I turn on the zones, we are in a red zone. So we're in a supply zone here. So even if we close above this 15-minute EMA, I wouldn't be looking to take a buy off of the 15-minute EMA. When it comes to the 30-minute EMA, for the 30 minutes, we do have an area of demand where this 30-minute EMA is here. So if at 10:30 we close above this 30-minute EMA, I would look to take a scalp, an EMA rejection scalp off of it, because also we have a 30-minute bullish high, but we have to wait for 17 minutes to even see if that will confirm. So for right now, we just have to keep waiting for this other one trade a day entries. We already have the one trade a day for US30. Unfortunately, it ended up being a losing trade. For NAS, we haven't had the one trade a day entry yet since the last one. So even from market open, we didn't have the a market open entry here. So for NAS, we still haven't had the one trade a day. Personally, I don't take any NAS entries. I just take for US30. And for US30 as well, the only entry or the only account I have left open is the one that takes every trade between 9:30 and 10:59. So for today, we've only had one trade so far, which ended up being a losing trade. So for the account that's still left open to take these signals, it's still gonna take any other trade that shows up before 10:59 a.m. So we'll see if we get anything else for them. Give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, so we're back again in this range. Today is just probably not the best trading day. So we are still stuck in this back and forth, this range. We might break it and break it towards. So we have this bullish structure again here that we just tapped into. Price might retrace a little bit above here. So let's see. So this is at 77.9. 77.9. So we might retrace here back and then push all the way up. But yeah, today is not, and actually this week, because tomorrow as well we have CPI. So this might be one of those back and forth days. And I think, let's see, the days market open entry, yeah. So the intraday market open entry would have ended up being a losing one. So the only win today was the 15-minute SAR rejection here that we took when market opened. But right now, so here the best, as much as we've tapped into this hourly sell SAR, I wouldn't take a buy here yet because we have this 30-minute bearish low. So I wouldn't take a buy where we have a bearish order block. EMA wise, there's no EMA that's valid here. The 15-minute EMA here, unless price goes all the way back up there, which it's possible, but I don't see any entry for EMAs. The only other EMA that hasn't been tested here is this hourly EMA 2, but it's resting on a 15-minute bearish order block. So the price action today is just all over the place. And then I do still expect us to go back into the range because if we look at this phase that we are in here, have an accumulation phase, some sort of manipulation phase, and then we distribute back up into the range and possibly push up back to the all-time high. But on a Wednesday, I don't think we might go back and hit that all-time high. So mostly that's probably going to happen. You know, historically, I've seen that happen on a Thursday or Friday, typically on a Friday. So we might trend back down to between today and tomorrow, either stay in a range or trend back down, hold below here. And then Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, we push back and do a new all-time high. And you can see here, like for this one trade a day entries, um, probability wise, they're normally right. They're even more profitable than the SAR rejection scalp. And typically, even in the back testing that we did, you know, you just have a fake out and then price comes back down. So this impulse entries or this one trade a day entries, that they pretty much are accurate in the direction of the market. But in a ranging market like we have today, where price is stuck in between a high and a low, you normally expect some sort of push back up. So which is another reason why for these trades you go for a 1:2 risk to reward. Unfortunately, this week the one trade a day, we haven't had a 9:30 a.m. So we haven't had any 9:30 a.m. entry on Monday, Tuesday, or today. We didn't have a 9:30 a.m. signal. So this whole week the first signal came after 9:30, but all of those 3 days they've ended up losing. Back testing wise, I think the longest losing streak for this one was 5 days, if I'm not wrong, like five back-to-back losses. But with a 1:2 risk to reward, you normally get that back within like the next 3 wins or something. So here for this structure or bullish structure, so the first one was respected, which is where we respected this bullish structure. We pushed up a little and then we came back all the way down. So the first one was respected. This second one isn't being respected. So we go ahead and take that one out as well. So regarding bullish structure, we don't have any other bullish structure. The nearest bullish structure, I think, is all the way down here. So the nearest bullish structure is, yeah, is at the low of this candle right here. It's better visualized on MT4, but that's the nearest or the next one right there. It's at the low of this candle. So it's at the intersection of this wick right here and this wick right here. So that's the next bullish structure. So we're pretty much far away from that one. So let's see if we'll get another SAR entry. Uh, This EMA entry right here will be invalid because it is resting on a bearish order block. So this cancels out. And hopefully maybe we can get an SAR rejection entry. It's 10:38, so we about 22 minutes till 11 a.m. So I'm not sure if we are even going to get anything else unless we have a big impulse to the downside to get an SAR entry, but we'll see if we get anything. All right. So the first impulse trade for the day for NAS is for a sell. Again, I don't take NAS entries, but we can follow them. And this is like a 20-point stop loss, 40-point TP. So today's first trade of the day for NAS, for the impulse entry, or what I used to call market open entry, would be for a sell. And the range of on NAS is even worse than it was on US30. This is just terrible right here. All right, so it's 4 minutes until 11. I don't see anything else happening. For NAS, this was the first trade on NAS, still running. Again, NAS is in a even a tighter range than what US30 was. Again, I don't take these trades for NAS, but if anybody is in it, 20 point stop loss, 40 points TP. And then, so for US30 today, we only had one impulse trade or the one trade a day strategy, only one. And unfortunately, it ended up losing, but price came back down. And again, this is the effect of trading in a range. Even NAS can do the same thing where price can range back and forth, go up. So hopefully this one goes to TP, but go up, get stopped out, and then do exactly what US30 did right here. But it's 3 minutes until 11. I really don't see anything else that would happen. Um, for this hourly EMA, I wouldn't even take it because this is the only EMA that hasn't been tested, but it is lying on a 15-minute bearish order block, so I wouldn't even take that. And even SAR wise, any SAR that we would form inside this zone in the next 3 or 2 minutes would be invalid because again, we are in the same 15-minute bearish order block. So I wouldn't even be looking to take a buy on US30, any rejection scalp. But once this week is, I don't know, I think next week we have FOMC. So next week might also be a tricky week. I think they're expecting to, let's see, for FOMC, which should be this Wednesday right here. We're expecting a 0.25% rate cut. But some are even predicting a 0.5 rate cut, which is pretty steep. So next week as well, we might have ranging market. But once we are done with this ranging market back and forth, we should be set, especially for this one trade a day entries. They're pretty neat because like last week, I think across all these four accounts, I had 23,000 in profit. This week has been a losing week. So I think this week I'm at maybe -6 or -8,000. But once this kind of weeks edge out, we should be in the clear, at least to stack up for the next couple of weeks before we get back into. So every time the first week of every month, because we normally have an FP, and I think the FOMC week is normally, I think, one. I don't know if it's once every 3 months or something. So those weeks we definitely expect ranging markets. And for my strategies, ranging markets are one of the worst markets to trade in. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. But other than that, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have